Well, Serene is not trusting this guy named Mike at all, so she's been keeping like a close eye on him. And also, Serene had got mad with Ian. She had ended up temporarily breaking up with Ian after overhearing him telling something so deep and so secretive to Mike. She was standing by the window at the blinds and overhearing, Ian telling about, the assault that she had been, well, the two assaults that she had been through, mainly about the one that she had been through as a kid. And that had made Serene not trust Ian anymore. That had made her just wanted to pack up her things and leave. And that's what she did. She ended up going to the back without even, she didn't even step out there to confront Ian right in front of Mike. She instead had silently went to the back and started packing her things. And Ian didn't know she was packing her things. That's until he had came back into the house. And when he saw her packing her things, he was asking her in a confused way, like, where you going? And then she said, I'm leaving you. You betrayed me. I can't believe you have done this. Um, I can't believe you had done that. I trusted you. And she was like, I will never talk to you again and stuff like that. She just packed her things and left and had started staying there with her friend's house. And Ian realized he had messed it up and about like she had stayed away from him for about like a few days. And about like a few days later, he ended up going to that friend's house with some flowers in his hand. Asking that friend, can Serene come outside so he could speak to her and apologize to her. Serene was not ready to come outside. So Serene had Ian sitting out on the porch at her friend's house for about some hours till the sun had left out of the sky. And when it was nighttime, that's when Serene that's when Serene decided to come out when it had got nighttime. And he had apologized to her out there, saying that he was sorry while holding the flowers out to her. And Serene had took the flowers, and they both had hugged each other and everything, and was back affectionate to each other again. And Serene was also living back into Ian's house because she just couldn't stay away from the girls. She really adored the girls and loved them like they was her own. But one day, while Ian was nowhere around again, um Mike had ended up, sneaking into the girls' bedroom. He ended up sneaking in there when the girls was asleep in bed. Both of them, Lakita and Michaela both. And while they was asleep, viewers' discretion is advised. He was trying to attempt grape. Like he was reaching over, slipping the covers off of them and everything. That's until he was trying to grape the oldest. And the oldest is Lakita. He was trying to grape her. But Serene has saw it and was saying in her mind like not on her watch, and she dived right on Mike. And let's just say Mike is like 6 foot something. He's 6 foot something, so he's a tall guy, and Serena's short compared to him, and she jumped it right on his back and just started pounding on him while swearing and yelling and stuff. And that woke the girls up, and it was just her and Mike, ding ding ding, like in the boxing ring. But of course, Serene couldn't stand a chance with Mike because Mike was swinging her all over the place, and he ended up knocking her on the floor. And once her body hit the floor, that's when he had took his big old foot and kicked her in the stomach really hard, and that left a deep pain in Serene's stomach. And after kicking her, he also had spitted on her too, and he was saying like he could do it as want and everything. But Ian also had came up in there when he was seeing Mike do that to Serene. Serene was like groaning in pain, holding her stomach and everything. Ian ended up coming in there and getting into it with Mike. And of course, just like with Serene, Ian could not stand a chance with Mike. He was much shorter compared to Mike. Mike was like Incredible Hulk to them. And let's just say that Mike ended up beating the dog crap out of Ian. He beat the living crap out of Ian in his own house, like just swinging him all over the place. He got on right on top of Ian, bloodying up his nose and his mouth. And the girls were screaming and crying, and they were scared. And Serene was also scared that he would end up killing her boyfriend Ian. So she did what she had to do. She at first ran into the kitchen to get a kitchen knife. Thought that would get him off of Mike. But that didn't work. Once she stabbed him in the back with that knife, that had made Mike even more mad. He had started to strangle Ian, not getting off of him. So next, Serene ended up reaching into her purse. She ended up going it through her purse and pulling out the pew pew. And she ended up aiming that pew pew right at Mike and letting off some rounds. And those rounds had got Mike right off of Ian. It got him right off of him, but did it kill him? No, it did not kill him at all. No, Mike was still alive, even when the cops had arrived there. He was still alive. And he got put in handcuffs. He got the help that he needed for his injuries, but he also was put in handcuffs because Mike was not only an ex-con, but he also was a well-known PDL file, and Ian had no idea about this. That's why it's always good to do background checks on people. But Ian was just call himself helping a guy that he thought was not skeptical at all. But his oldest daughter and also his girlfriend can already see that this guy was, up to no good. And Mike got carried away in handcuffs, and everyone was safe again. And after that, Ian had after all of that had happened, Ian had ended up surprising Serene. He ended up having a big surprise thing for her. It was like one day when he decided to cook on the grill and everything. He started to do like a cookout thing for Serene, because one night he ended up catching Serene crying to her. Serene was crying to herself in the bathroom, and he had, comforted her and asked her like what was wrong, and she had told him like she misses her sister. So after that had happened, when he had seen Serene like that, he had made up his mind to surprise Serene. He had ended up getting in touch with Beloved. He ended up getting in touch with Beloved, and Beloved ended up coming down for where she was at. She had lived it out of the States, and she had her own little family. She had her husband and her children and all. She had like 3 kids. One of her kids was like 18 months old, and her other 2 children was also little kids, like around 5 or 6 years old. And the children, of course, was playing with the little girls that Ian had kept, and Beloved was happy to see her sister, and Serene was very happy. And that's basically how the story ended. All of them had spent time together, ate food, listened to music and everything. It was just all a bit blast. And the meaning behind my title, A Rose That Smells Like Chocolate, it all started back from the beginning when the girl's mother, Beloved, and Serene's mother, Gwendolyn, she had multiple boyfriends throughout her life, and one of her boyfriends was this man. I would describe him as a high roller. You know, them high roller type of guys who just keep a wad of cash in their pockets and stuff. He had ended up giving her this special flower, and it was a hot cocoa rose. And Serene remembers it clearly when her mother used to keep this rose on the windowsill, and she would smell it at nighttime. It would give off the aroma of hot chocolate, of like chocolate. And thank you for watching this video, whoever is watching. And if the Lord's will, there'll be more videos coming up, possibly more stories and mukbangs, and maybe I'll do like a science fiction story as well. And goodbye.